Good evening, and welcome to the commencement ceremony of the class of 2016. After years of hard work and unique experiences, we are finally here, ready to turn the page to the next chapter of our lives. In the span of an hour, we will conclude 4 years of hard work and unforgettable experiences as we become alumni. Many of the people sitting around us are childhood friends. Others are people whose names we might be hearing for the first time tonight. But if we stop to take a look at ourselves and who we've become, our caps and gowns make it easy for everyone to see that regardless of our differences, we are united as members of the same class, and we are all here to celebrate the same wonderful achievement. But such an achievement would not have been possible without the collective efforts of everyone in attendance tonight. And I would be remiss if I didn't invite you all to proudly call yourselves warriors for the next hour. Tonight's celebration could not have been possible without each and every one of you, and I thank you all for being here and uniting with us in the celebration of academic excellence that is about to begin. On behalf of the class of 2016, we would like to welcome you to the 64th Susquehanna High School Commencement.
Good evenings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome parents, relatives, and friends of the class of 2016 to our 64th annual commencement of Susquehanna High School. I would ask at this time if everyone in the stadium could please stand for the playing of our national anthem and remove your hats. I'd like to take a moment and introduce some individuals joining me this evening who have come tonight to celebrate with the class of 2016. Seated to my right and to your left, with me tonight are Superintendent Dr. Sandra Lamont, Assistant Superintendent Dr. Robert Bryson, School Board President Mr. Robert Schefter, and our Alumni Honored Speaker Mr. John Berthold and his family, as well as Chief Financial and Director of Operations, Dr. Wayne McCullough. Additionally, we have School Board Directors Mr. Bruce Bauman, Mr. James Holly, and Mr. Ali Waldron. I'd also like to welcome members of the District Administration team who have joined the class of 2016 this evening, as well as their advisor, Mrs. Kristen Johnson. Each year, we pay tribute to the scholarship winners from the graduating class. I'd like you to turn your attention to the program where you will find an alphabetical listing of the scholarship recipients from the class of 2016, as presented at the time of publication. Will the members of the class of 2016 receiving a scholarship please stand? The individuals standing in front of us this evening are approximately 106 strong. They have received over 250 scholarships, totaling more than $2.6 million. Congratulations. Fittingly, as we sit here this evening on the eve of the Memorial Day weekend, a holiday when we remember all those who have bravely defended this nation, I'd like to take a moment and recognize those students who have made the decision to risk their lives to serve this country so that we can live in the freedom that they will so vigilantly protect. Will those students planning to volunteer in our armed services please stand and be recognized? On behalf of this community and this school district, I'd like to thank you in advance for the service that you are going to give our country. Thank you. And at this time, I'd like to introduce Ms. Emma Gruner, valedictorian of the class of 2016.
Hello and good evening to all who are gathered here today. I realize that, to my fellow students, I am one of the only things standing between you and the great hat-tossing extravaganza we've all been waiting for, or dreading, depending on how your particular high school experience has played out. For most of us, though, I'm guessing that this event has been looming over our heads for so long that we aren't even sure how we feel about it anymore. Sure, we know how we're supposed to feel. Pop culture has taught us that as graduating seniors, we're expected to be in the midst of some intense emotional turmoil right now as we prepare to leave behind the comforts of high school and embark on the exciting, yet ever ambiguous next step. Maybe some of you are experiencing said turmoil right now, but for some, it might hit tomorrow, or next month, or never. For some, this turmoil will be more intense than for others because graduation and all that it entails is a highly individual experience. This individuality makes talking about it in such general terms so much more difficult, but I'll try my best. Before I go any further, let me just say that I'm not here to give life advice. I'm sure there will be many people in your life willing to take upon that job. Besides, being 18 years old and holding no more experience with the real world than any other student, I can safely say that I'm not qualified to dispense any wisdom of that kind. In fact, I don't even have an answer as to what I am qualified to dispense wisdom about. For better or for worse, my high school experience has never lined up with that of a typical student. I've never been to a school dance or a football game, and I've spent most of my recent weekends going to symphony concerts or watching The West Wing. I can't stand up here and reminisce about all the great social experiences we've had as the class of 2016, because that's not something I'm really familiar with. Nevertheless, even I have noticed and recognized the appeal of the high school environment, and given that this environment is the common denominator among us all, I figured that it was the most worthwhile topic of discussion. High school, for the most part, is a place of stability. Our day-to-day routines are so structured that many of us could probably walk to our classes with our eyes closed. We're surrounded by people whom we've known, in many cases, for over half our lives. We're at the point where we have freedom to choose how to fill our waking hours, yet we also have the freedom from real-world responsibilities, like uncertain careers or families to support. Again, such an environment may feel monotonous and stifling to some, but I feel that it also is, in a kind of subliminal way, nurturing. It is here that we have the chance to build the skills that will serve us for the rest of our lives, long after we've left behind our Southern York County bubble. We've all made mistakes over our time here. We've managed our time poorly. We've taken the easy way out on assignments, and sometimes we've treated others in ways that we haven't been proud of. But there's really no better time to make these mistakes than in high school. In high school, the risk is low. Mistakes like these probably won't cost you a career, or a home, or a marriage. In high school, you're surrounded by classmates who may not be close friends with you, but who certainly know you, and because of that, they're probably more forgiving than you would think. And, perhaps most importantly, in high school, you're among teachers who have dedicated a good part of their lives to you. I may not be able to say this about every high school, but I can certainly say it here. Our teachers challenge you to reach beyond your comfort zone, to think about the material in ways that may never have occurred to you, or in ways that may never even have occurred to them. The care and effort our teachers put into strengthening the minds of their students and their willingness to give their students' opinions the credit they deserve is something that is likely quite rare in the real world. I hope that all of you, even those of you who despise your schoolwork, can at least appreciate the confidence and freedom that this sort of learning environment has provided you. As I said earlier, it's certainly not my place, or anyone's place, to tell you what your high school experience should have meant to you, just as it's not anyone's place to tell you what career you should pursue, or who you should vote for in the upcoming election, or whether you should be crying right now. I know I said I wouldn't give life advice, so I'll just let an obscure Swiss psychiatrist named Carl Jung do it for you. The shoe that fits one person pinches another. There is no recipe for living that suits all cases. Thank you for your time. Congratulations to everyone, and good luck in all your future endeavors.
Good evening to every parent, faculty member, student, and graduate here today. Before I begin, I'd like to take a moment to thank some people who have helped me get here. My parents and my extended family for being my biggest supporters and loving me through it all. My bubby for being an extraordinary role model and person who can always light up anyone's day. My amazing friends who have been there for me through thick and thin and ridiculous times in the cafeteria. My amazing teachers for allowing me to understand what this world is truly about, and all of my classmates for being the most amazing group to graduate with that I could have ever imagined. Whether you know it or not, these 4 years have made you who you are. You've changed, been molded into 1,000 different forms by the people surrounding you and the circumstances affecting you. The person who walked through those front doors as a freshman isn't the same person sitting here today, right? When I was a freshman, I certainly wasn't a perfect photocopy of who I am today, complete with laminated edges and clean corners. I walked the halls of the school loudly proclaiming my love for certain boy bands and cowering away from the upperclassmen who seemed 10 feet tall. I was in the ensemble in Phantom of the Opera and tweeted my every move. Today, I walk the halls confidently and boy band free. I've landed leads in plays and musicals, and I still tweet my every move. I think it's safe to say that, for the most part, things have changed in my life. But in so many ways, I haven't changed. Not really. Sure, we've all grown up and moved on from our freshman days, trading in some passions and keeping others close to our hearts in a tight embrace, but the freshman that we used to be is still there somewhere. I can see her when I shed tears over some ridiculous musical. I can see her in the amazing friends I've made over the years. I can see her when I think about this day. We all remember what it was like to think of this year as unattainable, a galaxy far, far away, a place that we'd reach only when we were ready, and now we're here. And it's time we looked around and realized how lucky we are to be alive right now. High school might not have been the best sometimes. Everyone goes through those low moments when you second-guess yourself or desperately want to return to some other time and some other place, and that's okay. Sometimes it's hard to appreciate the present, but to do so is extremely rewarding. When you look back on this time in your life, you might run the risk of losing the little things, a certain joke that you and your friends have, or maybe a nickname given by a teacher, if you never take a second just to muse on what you've got. Look around you. Physically look at all of the people surrounding you. You might have grown up with the girl on your right or just recently gotten to know the boy on your left. However well you know each other, each and every one of you has affected the other's lives. It might have been in a really small way. You might have sat next to them in class that one time, or they might have flooded the toilets at Shrewsbury Elementary in first grade, or it might have been a life-altering relationship spanning 10 years of shared memories and tears and laughter. It doesn't matter which, but each one of you means something to someone else here today. Each one of you matters. When we think about how high school has changed us, it's also important to reflect on how we've changed it. First arriving as a freshman 4 years ago, I could barely gather up the courage to speak to the senior who sat first chair in the orchestra's viola section. My friends and I stuck mostly to our grade, and it was difficult to imagine what it would be like to be where we are now. Would we magically transform into more mature and adult versions of ourselves? Would it happen overnight or over years? Would I even know the person I would become? It wasn't as complicated as I thought. There was no magic, no big transformation. I'm still me, and even though my opinions, tastes, and age have changed, I haven't become some fantasy Brooke Weber who is ready and willing to leave all these years behind. Growing up has so far been a long and multifaceted journey, and it's one that no one here has yet completed. When I realized this, I decided that I would try and make sure that the new classes coming up to the high school never felt that apprehension that I once had. Because this has been done by so many seniors, I truly believe that Suskie's underclassmen feel more supported than ever before. It's important to remember that you were in that place once, and that replacing a cold shoulder with a quick smile or genuine compliment can create a lasting memory in someone's life. You never know who could be looking up to you, so it's best to maintain your perspective and be kind. As you sit here today, surrounded by the people you've shared the halls with for however many years it might have been, remember all that you've gone through to get here. Remember all that you've accomplished in your years at this district, whether it was winning 3rd place in the elementary envirothon, performing in Boston, Chicago, Disney, and more, or passing a quiz that you thought was hopeless. Cherish those memories. Keep them close to your heart, and never, ever forget where you came from.
53 years ago, a young man with a passion for science sat in the seats we're in now, graduating as valedictorian of his high school class. Dr. John Berthold graduated from Susquehannock as a member of the class of 1963 and has returned more than 50 years later as this year's distinguished alumni and this evening's guest speaker. While at Susquehannock, Dr. Berthold was very active in band and orchestra, playing trombone in district and regional band and playing string bass in district orchestra. As a student, he was very innovative and creative, and as a senior in high school, Dr. Berthold built and installed a functioning radio link between Friendship Elementary School and the high school. Today, we might take this for granted, but for a senior in high school to create such a link in 1963 was very impressive. After high school, he attended Gettysburg College, and it was here where he saw laser for the first time and decided to be one of the lucky few who would determine how such a breakthrough in technology could be used. Dr. Berthold went on to earn a doctorate from the University of Arizona in 1976, and passion and intellect have enabled him to work with government agencies such as the National Security Agency, NASA, the Department of Defense, and the Department of Energy. He is the inventor or co-inventor of 51 US patents, and now, with 47 years of optics research under his belt, Dr. Berthold is recognized internationally as a pioneer and expert in his field. He's a testament to the importance of academic enthusiasm and perpetual learning, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce Dr. Berthold as our speaker this evening.
Thank you, Matt, for that very nice introduction. Parents, teachers, guests, and most important of all, graduating seniors. Congratulations to all of you in the class of 2016. You are about to receive your diplomas today. You did it, and you have succeeded. I applaud you. And I'm honored to share this day with you. But this honor is not mine alone. It is shared by all those in my family who have had a major influence in my life. Let me tell you a little bit about my background. My mother was a 16-year-old graduate of New Freedom High School and valedictorian of the class of 1922. She expected and demanded the best from me. She would be known today as a Tiger Mom. You all know what that is. My great-grandfather, John Berthold, was a German immigrant who came to Brodbeck's in 1854. He became a U.S. citizen in 1860. He was a farmer, a blacksmith, and a builder, and the stone house he built still stands. His son, John Berthold, my grandfather, worked for the Pennsylvania Railroad as a boiler fireman and a hostler. He was also a builder. His 3-story brick duplex remains one of the largest brick structures in New Freedom. My father, John Berthold, was an engineer, and during his working career, he was with York International, the Pennsylvania Department of Highways, and American Insulator Corporation in New Freedom. From 1945 to 1957, my father served on the school board, first in New Freedom, and then the Southern York County School District, and he served during the time when the district was consolidated from all the local schools, and the new high school, Susquehannock, was built right here. My sister, Mary Nora, who's with me tonight, was in the first graduating class at Susquehannock. She was the salutatorian of the class of 1952. She set the bar high, and she was a great example and an inspiration to me. Most important, throughout 42 years of married life, my spouse, Jacqueline Reed, has supported me in all my endeavors, and I'm happy to say that I have lived my life the old-fashioned way, dedicated to family and work. And why am I speaking with you today? Because even though my endeavors have taken me out of York County, nothing can take York County out of me. I am proud of where I came from, and I am proud of all of you who are graduating today. You belong to York County just like I do, and any one of you can do what I did. What advice do I have to offer? Basically the same advice I offered when I spoke to the Susquehanna graduating class of 1983. Yes, I was invited to speak here 33 years ago, and some of you may have parents that were in that class, and maybe some of those parents are here today. It's difficult for me to comprehend that it's been 33 years since I was speaking here, and it's been 53 years since I graduated. It makes me feel that 53 years is not such a long time after all, but most of you seniors, I'm sure, think I am ancient. And compared to you, I am, but I'm still kicking. Of course, much has happened over these years, but think for a moment the way things were in 1963. Let me tell you the way it was. The #1 TV show was the Beverly Hillbillies. Gunsmoke and Bonanza were almost as popular. We all believed President John F. Kennedy when he told us that communist aggression in Vietnam was well under control. None of my classmates would hear a word about the Beatles for another 9 months. The civil rights movement was at its peak. Go Away, Little Girl was our favorite song, but not our secret wish. The women's liberation movement was born in 1963 with the publication of a book by author Betty Friedan, and the book was titled The Feminine Mystique. Have any of you heard of Betty Friedan or The Feminine Mystique? 1963. So now you've heard about me and about 1963. A lot of good as well as not so good has come about during these years, but we Americans still have hope for the future. And you, the graduates of the class of 2016 are our future. And we have high hopes for all of you. You have received a wonderful education in this school district, recently ranked as one of the best school districts in Pennsylvania. And you can succeed with whatever you choose to do, just like others have done who came before you. I especially like your class motto, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. And that's true. Your life at Susquehannock has been completed. Now you move on with a blank screen. Essentially, you are going to start over, but you have the fundamentals of your education behind you and supporting you. So with your class motto in mind, go out, work hard, and take your shots. To help you along, here is what I offer to all the graduates as my words of wisdom from my own experience. And Emma Gruner and Brooke Weber hit on some of these, and I'm going to repeat them because they are important. Number one, strive for the best that you can be and make good use of your time. What does this mean? To me, it means don't spend your life trying to be comfortable. Don't take the easy way out. Don't be lazy. Instead, be diligent and productive. Number two, learn to plan ahead and think before you act, and consider the possible consequences of your actions before you decide what you're going to do. Number three, finish what you start. Finish. Number four, look around you. Identify important problems that interest you and work to find solutions to these problems. In the process, you may actually find something you really enjoy doing. Work should be enjoyment most of the time. Not always, but work should be enjoyed most of the time. So keep your eyes and ears open for opportunities. And number five, don't be afraid to work hard and do what needs to be done. Most important right now is that you have finished high school and you are graduating. So I say again, congratulations to all graduates. I applaud you.
Dr. Berthold, thank you for taking the time to come and be here with us tonight and acting as an example of all that we can accomplish. On behalf of the class of 2016, we would like to give you this small gift as a token of our appreciation.
Thank you very much.
There you go. Thank you.
Thank you.
For centuries, regardless of culture or continent, 23,000 different kinds of trees have been a spiritual, literary, and philosophical inspiration for mankind, and with good reason. Some species of trees grow to be 360 feet tall. Others have lifespans of 500, 2,500, and even 5,000 years. Trees provide us with shelter, supply us with building materials, clean our air, and provide us with the most important resource, oxygen. But beyond their physical contributions, trees have always captured the attention of authors. And it was Australian author Jackie French who wrote, "Have you ever noticed how every tree is just a little bit different, all twisted by the wind and the snow? But if that was all, they should have been twisted the same way. It's as though every tree had made up its mind to grow exactly how it wanted to." Jackie French's main character in A Girl from Snowy River, a book I'm sure at least one of your classmates knows as she plans to continue her education in Australia, reflected on the uniqueness of trees and used the trees to try to rationalize and cope with the multitude of changes that World War I had brought to her native Australia. You see, her characters in her book were each impacted very differently by World War I. Just as trees develop unique physical characteristics despite experiencing similar weather conditions, Jackie French's characters were each differently impacted by World War I on both a social and psychological level. Each one of you here, sitting here today are like the majestic trees that are surrounding our campus. After 13 years of education, most or all of them spent here at the Southern York County School District, each of you has grown and been shaped differently by your experiences. Each of you is unique, just like the trees around us. Each of you have made up your mind to grow your very own way. And while each of you have grown into your unique self, you share one very common bond. You are all Susquehannock warriors. With the guidance and support of your parents, your teachers and coaches, our school board, our district administration, and this wonderful community, your experiences in the classroom, on the stage, and on the playing fields during your last 4 years here at Susquehannock High School have allowed you to grow into the fine and upstanding young men and women that are sitting here today. So on a night when you're ready to move on and continue growing, I think it's fitting to offer a little advice from the trees that surround us tonight. Stand tall and proud. Few have immortalized those words like Rosa Parks, who once said, "Stand for something or you'll fall for anything." Today's mighty oak is yesterday's nut who stood their ground. You are warriors, about to become the next graduating class in a long red line of Susquehannock alumni. Don't be afraid to weather the storm, and certainly don't be afraid to stand for what you believe in. Go out on a limb once in a while. Mark Twain once asked the question, why not go out on a limb? He came up with the answer, because that's where all the fruit is. You all have had the ability to take some risks while you were here. They have resulted in award-winning stage productions, musical and athletic championships, innovations such as our environmentally friendly new water fountains and our new digital school newspaper. You took risks, you challenged yourselves, and now you're ready to continue chasing your passions. Always remember your roots, similar to what Dr. Berthold told you. Your roots are the foundation of your life and the wings of your future. This community and your families that are here with you this evening have worked tirelessly to provide you with the values, the ethics, and the knowledge that will allow you to fly in the future. But always remember that after today, your last day here at Susquehannock High School, you will always, no matter where you are, have a home here at the Southern York County School District. Don't be afraid of the winter. Some of you already know this harsh reality that life isn't always easy. You're going to experience great times of joy, and there's going to be other times, well, things just don't seem to go the way you want them to. Trees experience those very similar ups and downs as the seasons change. In the spring, the summer, and the fall, trees are vibrant, colorful, and full of life. But during the winter, trees have to endure harsh, driving snowstorms. They lose their leaves. They're rocked back and forth at the mercy of frigid winds. But in the end, they always prevail. They grow stronger. Remember, the storms are temporary. The snow always melts, and the trees always become stronger because of the winters that they endure. Be content with your natural beauty. Oscar Wilde once said, "Be yourself. Everybody else is already taken." Each of you are one of a kind, just like the trees that are around us on this campus. Follow the lead of a Rosa Parks, a Steve Jobs, a Michelangelo, a Muhammad Ali, or a Sandra Day O'Connor. Just like the trees around us, these men and women stood the test of time. They accepted who they were, stood for what they believed in, experienced success, and made this world a more beautiful place. Finally, enjoy the view. In the immortal words of John Hughes' famous character Ferris Bueller, life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you miss it. On behalf of the entire Susquehannock High School staff, I wish you nothing but the best. We look forward to watching you as you continue to grow, and we have no doubt that the class of 2016 will make this world a much more beautiful place. Congratulations, class of 2016. Now, by the authority invested in me by Southern York County School Board and the Superintendent, Dr. Sandra Lamont, I hereby certify that the class of 2016, presented to all of us here tonight, have met all the requirements and completed all the necessary credits set forth by the Pennsylvania Department of Education and the Southern York County School District, and are hereby declared eligible to graduate as the 64th class of Susquehannock High School.
Elijah G. Holloway, summa cum laude.
Matthew Barnhart, summa cum laude.
Michaela Page Salvetti, magna cum laude.
Quinlan Spencer Kaufman, summa cum laude.
Emma Gruner, summa cum laude.
Brooke Willow Weber, summa cum laude.
Victoria Elizabeth Acton, summa cum laude.
Ryan Adada, magna cum laude.
Iffy Acuna.
Amber Albin, magna cum laude.
Chidi Amati, magna cum laude.
Josie Amato.
Aleda Angeles.
Chris Apgar.
Rachel Arthur.
Dustin Babai.
Rachel Bancheri, summa cum laude.
Megan Elizabeth Barnish, magna cum laude.
Jacob C. Bartholow.
Faith Bell.
Kayla Christine Bennett.
Nia Danielle Bennett, cum laude.
Shannon Berg.
Nicholas James Bertholt, cum laude.
Julia Black.
Jenna Dawn Bradford, summa cum laude.
Jeffrey Brady, cum laude.
Ethan Stephen Bernard.
Evan Brown.
Martin Friedrich Bruner.
Chris.
Zachary Brown.
Peter Bruno.
Cameron Taylor Burke, magna cum laude.
Grace Burns, summa cum laude.
Savannah Shea Caldwell.
Ashley Pauline Byers.
Doing great. Oh, Mike right there.
Nicholas J. Chamberlain, cum laude.
Yes, yes.
Jacob Castanera.
Jaden Chester, cum laude.
Robin Chandler, summa cum laude.
Tess Royale Clancy, cum laude.
Joseph Charnigo.
Alexander M. Clark.
Kevin M. Clapp, cum laude.
Thomas Classing, cum laude.
Peter Combs, summa cum laude.
Hannah Rose Costella, cum laude.
Daniel A. Corio.
Don't say my middle name. Just say
Ashley Cox, magna cum laude.
Qua Dow, cum laude.
Alexis Ann Chaplinsky, magna cum laude.
Julia DeLuca, magna cum laude.
Joseph E. Delozier.
Anthony DeVincent.
Ryan Denis, magna cum laude.
Bridget Adele Duffy, summa cum laude.
Chandler J. Dieter.
Bailey A. Durasoff, cum laude.
William Kelly Earls, summa cum laude.
Kurt Eckenrode, magna cum laude.
Jacob Eicholtz.
Madison Ellis, summa cum laude.
Max Feltz. Abigail Rose Ferraro, summa cum laude.
Dorian Faster.
Brianna Autumn Fitzgerald, summa cum laude.
Austin Flamini.
Hayden Fox.
Kelly Lynn Franz, summa cum laude.
Brady Webster Gallegos, summa cum laude.
David Gallegos, magna cum laude.
Gordon Garrett.
Jason Gale, magna cum laude.
Delaney Jenna.
Aaron Gervasio, summa cum laude.
Isabella Gilbert, summa cum laude.
Faith Gladfelter.
Ryan James Glockner, summa cum laude.
Roger Godfrey.
You remember, right?
Sean Goatee, cum laude.
William Gurley.
Raven Gray.
Megan Elizabeth Green, magna cum laude.
Justin Grimes.
Brayton Grimm.
Maureen Hain, summa cum laude.
Robin Ann Harris.
Jordan Helsel, summa cum laude.
Adriana Heltzel, magna cum laude.
Sarah Hendricks, magna cum laude.
Jamie Herbert.
Connor J. Hood, magna cum laude.
Eleanor Holloway, cum laude.
Zach Hopwood.
Emily Hauska, summa cum laude.
Robert G. Jackson.
Khalil Jackson.
Robert G. Jackson.
Maggie Catherine Kalazak, summa cum laude.
Vaish Kandala, magna cum laude.
Ryan Kennedy.
Allison Joanna Kerr, summa cum laude.
Megan Kuehler, summa cum laude.
Brandon Kyle.
Alexandra King.
Aiden Kirkendall.
Emily May Cruson.
Christy L. Langens, summa cum laude.
Samantha J. Laser.
Emily Renee Landis, magna cum laude.
Mallory Lebo.
Megan Elizabeth Lawler, magna cum laude.
Grant Lippy, cum laude.
Rachel Autumn Lintz.
Alicia L. Lonis.
Ryan Lee Lochran.
Andrew Lutz.
Megan Longerbeam, summa cum laude.
Alexandra Haley Manker, magna cum laude.
Abigail Catherine Mahan.
Elizabeth Mary Martin.
Nicholas Minoni, magna cum laude.
Josiah Mayers.
Carly Matthews, summa cum laude.
Kyle J. McCullough.
Julie Ann Martinez, summa cum laude.
Joey McDonald.
Dervon Mayberry.
Reed James McGarvey, magna cum laude.
Madison McGowan, magna cum laude.
Cassandra McKinsey.
Ellison McKee, magna cum laude.
Rachel A. Miller, magna cum laude.
Ian C. McKinney.
Jadsia Martin.
Shane McQuaid.
Itzel Pimentel.
Shelby Lynn Meyer, cum laude.
Michael Martin.
Danny Mentlick, summa cum laude.
Logan Moore.
Raven Tier Miller.
Marie Lynn Morgan.
Shannon Christy Moran, magna cum laude.
Claire Elizabeth Morrison, magna cum laude.
Alexis Morin.
Miles Angelo Moultrie, summa cum laude.
William Thomas Moscow, magna cum laude.
Richard Lee Myers, Jr.
Madison Nicole Mummert, magna cum laude.
Gibson Porter, magna cum laude.
Angela Novak.
Nicholas Prego.
Dan Pergrin, summa cum laude.
Rachel Pugacheski, summa cum laude.
Jacqueline Provost, summa cum laude.
Caitlin Catherine Rasa, magna cum laude.
Kathleen Lockery Quinn, summa cum laude.
Taylor Lynn Reed, summa cum laude.
Spencer Reed.
Courtney Alexandra Rogers, summa cum laude.
Christopher Thomas Rhine.
Stephen Charles Rouse, summa cum laude.
Jacob Rohrbaugh, cum laude.
Chase M. Sapp, magna cum laude.
Laura Elizabeth Savin, cum laude.
Patrick Scharf, magna cum laude.
Nicholas Samuel.
Matthew Kendall Schodel.
Morgan F. Schmidt, cum laude.
Rebecca Sharkey, magna cum laude.
Dorleen Schrouder, magna cum laude.
Jillian C. Sipe.
Nathan Shelley, summa cum laude.
Jake Henry Smith, summa cum laude.
Jacob Shelton.
Hunter Sneed.
Caitlin Smith.
Alice Snyder.
Justin M. Snyder.
Jacob Stambaugh.
Joseph Spear, magna cum laude.
Madison Staub, summa cum laude.
Jesse L. Spicer.
Hannah D. Stewart.
David E. Sprouse.
Ashley Stone, magna cum laude.
Christopher Andrew Stevens, cum laude.
Jordan Danielle Stoner.
Daniel Allen Stifler, summa cum laude.
Hey, Miss Chaz, how are you? Ooh.
Kara Schweitzer, magna cum laude.
Josh Stoneberg, magna cum laude.
Nick Tenura.
William Strange, summa cum laude.
Lucas Xavier Thomas, cum laude.
Alec Tabak.
Nate Trego, cum laude.
Kane M. Thomas, magna cum laude.
Elizabeth Vesper, magna cum laude.
Haley Vaught, cum laude.
Nicholas Walter Valtaggio, cum laude.
Haley G. Villa.
Brittany Watts, cum laude.
Warren Watson.
Tara S. Weaver, magna cum laude.
Cal Weaver.
Brianna Elise Webster.
Michael Weaver Jr., cum laude.
Joshua Wheeler.
Matthew Brian Wentz, cum laude.
Rachel Christina Wilkes.
Amy Wetzel, summa cum laude.
Nicholas Bryce Williams.
Laura Michelle Willem, magna cum laude.
Lance A. Woody.
Catherine Elizabeth Wilson, cum laude.
John Yancheski.
Alexander S. Wright, magna cum laude.
Michael Yunkin, cum laude.
Austin J. Wright.
Kristen Zach, summa cum laude.
Yeah, Kristen!
Lillianne Marie Yoakum, summa cum laude. Stephen Francis Zappardino, magna cum laude.
Sons and daughters, true and loyal, join our song of cheer. For our dear old high school royal, as we gather here, we are filled with praises endless and remembrance clear. Ere our voices will defend her, red and white so dear.
Hello, everyone. I would like to begin by thanking all of the parents and family members in the audience for supporting us through 18 years of growing up and bringing us to this point today, when we are ready to say goodbye to Glen Rock and experience what the world has to offer. As I look out at all of my friends and classmates dressed in the same red caps and gowns, I realize that this is the last day that we will share our lives on a daily and yearly basis. For 4 years, we have shared classrooms, a gymnasium, a stage, a parking lot, and a high school. Many of us have been in this school district since kindergarten, so when I look out into the crowd tonight, I see friends and families I have known my whole life. In 4 years, we've sent our teams to state tournaments, our theater to national competitions, and our band to Disney to march down Main Street, USA. Together, we have made Susquehannock a peak of academic excellence. As members of Warrior Nation, we have achieved greatness inside these walls and out. After 4 years of excellence at Susquehannock, it is tempting to say that we should all strive for money, fame, and perfection. Someone in this field may well cure cancer, and there could be a future heart surgeon or professional athlete sitting in front of me today. However, there are others who chase these high-paying or high-profile occupations all their lives, with no love for their jobs and no happiness in their own skin. Steve Jobs once said, "Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition." Maybe your future will touch thousands, or maybe you will raise a family and coach youth sports so that you can influence a team full of children. What is important about your future is not what others think of it, but that you find something you love and work hard at it every day. From this point forward, you could do anything you want with no one to tell you you're wrong. What a time to be alive. I hope that when you all look back on your days at Susquehannock, you remember with fondness the people you were, but can see how much you've grown. You are under no obligation to be the same person you were a year ago, a week ago, or even 15 minutes ago. Be kind when you get the chance and help others when you are able. You have the opportunity to change the world or just yourself, and both are just as exciting. We've done all we can here in high school, and I think I speak for everyone in front of me when I say I'm excited to step off of 3280 Fissels Church Road and experience what more I can achieve. And with that, I am proud to have the honor to present the outstanding class of 2016. Show the world what you can do, but more importantly, show yourself.
Good evening, families, friends, and most importantly, the class of 2016. We are very proud of each of you. We know you will continue to accomplish great things in this world and make us Warrior proud. We have one last important task to complete on this memorable night. So, will the class of 2016 please rise? I ask that you please move your tassel from the right to the left side of your cap. Now, by the authority bestowed upon me by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and the Pennsylvania Department of Education as Superintendent of Southern York County School District, I declare you graduates of Susquehannock High School. Congratulations.